Hey there, my name is Pravus, and welcome to Death Must Die. This is a new action roguelite on Steam. It is getting phenomenal reviews, and the best way I can describe it, take a lot of the features from games like Hades, Diablo 2, and Vampire Survivors, and you end up with something like Death Must Die. On face value, it's going to look a lot like a standard horde survival, one of the new bullet heaven genre, but not entirely. So first off, nothing is autocast, or rather at least your main attack isn't autocast. You're actually wandering around and deliberately attacking the skeletons yourself as we invade the realm of death. By the way, don't mind the Santa hats. I know it takes away from the mood a little bit, but I'm recording this on Christmas Eve. So there we go. Apparently we're having a bit of a special. The question is, why are we here in the realm of death? Well, apparently death must die. He must be punished for some sort of a transgression. I don't totally know what that transgression is, and I say that after having played the game for a few hours at this point. But we're not the only ones who think so. As you may have just noticed, we leveled up, and what happens? We are introduced to one of many different deities who are assisting us in our quest to punish death. Apparently, he's taking mortals before their time comes. He's violating his office. That's all I know. That's all I can tell you about why death apparently needs to be punished. It has not really been revealed yet. But when one of the gods does appear to grant you a new boon, you may notice this system looks very familiar to a game like Hades, altering your build in some way. So for example, my attacks can become stronger and apply a chilled effect. Yeah, that's actually really good. I'll go ahead and pick that up. So now my main attack has some special modifiers to it, and there are a lot of different blessings that you can pick up, with I think 8 different deities that can assist you along the way. So if that doesn't seem extremely Hades-like to you, I don't know what to tell you. It means you probably never watched Hades, which is a dang shame, because Hades was easily one of the best games that was released that entire year. I'd even argue it's probably still the best action roguelite of all time, and I'm really looking forward to getting Hades 2. Let's go ahead and upgrade Chilling Strike to an expert version just so I can lock in even more damage. That would be great. We'll pick up some other stuff later. Hopefully run into another god that is going to synergize extremely well. All right, enemies are starting to get a little bit more variety here. We're getting some range variance now, but I'm just going to keep wandering around, trying to kill some of them, gather up experience, maybe a little bit of gold. There is a shopkeeper in this game because items are also a thing, but I'll touch on that in just a little bit. For now, let's keep slaying the hordes of minions. Aha! We have a small little boss man. This skeleton really does not like getting beat up every single run because he's always the first boss and he hates it, but there you go. Hey, look, an item. Okay, so we were just talking about that. Let me hit the B key, and you can see here, we have a whole bunch of different stats for your character and a bunch of different item slots. So I just found a belt that is much better at pulling shards or experience toward me from a longer distance. It's better than the crap I'm currently wearing, so we'll go ahead and equip that. You can stash your items between runs and use them for multiple different characters. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, but for now, just understand this is one of the primary ways of progressing your character. Alright, now we can boost our damage up to 36%, or, here we go, immobilized enemies take more damage by 70%. Yes, please. If we can get an enemy frozen, which is going to be very good with bosses or slow characters, we'll now be able to do 70% more damage to them temporarily. That's going to be great for my single target damage. I'm kind of hoping to get introduced to another god here at some point. But I mean, like, sure, yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, in this game, there aren't any combo blessings. So generally speaking, if you can find 1 or 2 gods and exclusively focus on their benefits, that's probably where you're going to get the most power. All right, so you may have noticed, by the way, that as an enemy attacks, they have these big red areas. I am using a dash to make sure we get away. That was the frozen thing right there, by the way, so I wanted to take advantage of that, but I was getting a little bit surrounded. So I need to be a little bit more careful there. There we go. Hold on. Get in and freeze him, freeze him, freeze him, freeze him, freeze him. There we go, and he's dead. Perfect. When he dies, we open up a chest. Hello, it's Legong, the god of lightning. Okay, so we have winter and we have lightning. Those are both pretty good. Chain lightning. Yeah, our attacks have a chance to bounce around between a bunch of different targets and do a ton of damage. I can see this being very good for some area clear, so we'll pick that up. And Mort, the daughter of death. All right. So we're going for a winter, lightning, and death curse build. Okay, sure. How are we going to do that? Well, we can get lifelink. My dash drains enemies, healing me. I can see that being really good. Shoot out some sickles every few attacks that are going to do a lot of extra damage, or soul stealers, which have a way of applying curse to enemies so they lose a percentage of their life. So that's like a damage over time effect. Both of these are very good. I'm going to try lifelink. I haven't used that yet, but I could see a method of healing being very, very good, especially in the cases where I'm being surrounded and I really do need to heal up. Do not expect me to win this run, by the way. I'm still very much in that stage of the game where you are gradually building up your character, especially in the form of gear. And it's going to take a while before I feel like I am competent enough and geared enough to really take on the big bosses. At this point, I'm only able to get up to the second boss of the game, and we're good. All right, so now we're starting to get some new enemies appearing here. These guys will charge at you. They are kind of like a wall here. They've got some barrier attached. That's the blue health bar you'll see over them. So these guys are going to take a bit more work to burn down, but that is okay. No big deal. Ravens of Pestilence, a summon spell. Spawn some ravens who are also going to curse enemies. Yeah, that's pretty good. Between things like Ravens of Pestilence and Soul Stealers, we really could get a lot of curse and start really hitting people for a percentage of their health. And it's very good to do things like that against bosses in particular. I'm going to go ahead and pick up Soul Stealers, and we'll start using this. All right, so we're starting to see this really start piling on here. Now, most of my spells are either going to be random chance or they're going to be auto-cast. The only thing you really control with your character is going to be your actual attacks. So when I said earlier that this game doesn't have a lot of the auto-casting feature, what I only mean is it's not the same as Vampire Survivors where you're literally just like wandering around and letting the game do its thing. There's more of a direct impact here. All right, there's some black fire over here, which means we're now currently surrounded. We're about to get mobbed by a bunch of green slimes. Get ready for a little bit of fun here. Hopefully we can handle it. Good news is I can still kill most of them in one hit. Where are they? There they are. All right, here we go. Here we go. This is where we have to be careful and try to kite these guys around. Get ready for a lot of dash action. Hopefully the chain lightning will work well to my... I'm stuck on a wall at my advantage. Let's try not to mess this one up. Now, I think one thing that this game really is going to need to either rework or something at some point, let's go ahead and boost up Chilling Strike again, the story aspect. When you jump into this game, all you know is that death must die, and time gave you his hourglass for reasons, I guess, to make sure that if you fall in death's realm, you still can be resurrected, which is very kind of him. I like that. But why, right? And that's the same thing that happened in a game like Hades, right? You jumped into it immediately, you were playing as Zagreus, you had no idea really why you needed to escape from Tartarus, you just know that you needed to. So, and that kind of got revealed to you over time through the dialogue of the gods, through losing runs, etc. In this game, that doesn't really happen as much as I think that it needs to. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the ravens now, and we'll just double up on that curse effect. So now we have little minions who are fighting things. This game, instead, it kind of alludes to it a little bit with some of the dialogue of the various different gods. But that's about it. There's only one character in this entire game where I feel like I understand exactly why they're going after death. Everyone else is just like, yeah, death has to die. Reasons. No, just go get him. It's like... So it kind of suckers you a little bit into thinking there's a much deeper story than there actually is. Now, with that said, I could totally be wrong, right? There may be a lot more to this, and it's just slower to roll out than I would like. So I'm not going to rule that out entirely. There isn't a story. It's also an early access game. This may be something the developer is intentionally holding close to the chest, with the expectation that a story will be properly revealed later on. I'm not too sure. All I know is I want more. I want to have the story trickled in at a rate that keeps me really engaged. And so far, that's not happening. It seems like it will, and then it doesn't. So what you end up doing is comparing this to a great game like Hades and saying, well, I mean, it's fun. It's certainly better than a lot of the other Vampire Survivors clones out there, but it's not quite there yet. It's not what I want. Right? That's the real problem. Winter, of course, loves death. Of course she would. Okay, what do we get here? We could go for Path of Frost, leaving chills. We could go for a Frost Ring that freezes. Yeah, let's go ahead and have a Ring of Frost pop up that occasionally freezes enemies. Remember that we deal extra damage to immobilized characters, so this can only work out well for me if it freezes a target. I'm going to continue wandering around here. Let's keep gathering some experience. I want to find some gold. I do see a small little boon down here. What is this? A Crying Fountain. Gain a revival or gain health regen? Oh, I want the health regen. Hopefully I don't die. I probably will, but health regen's good. Oh, bosses! Okay, hang on. Okay, we have two bosses coming after us. It's the Baron's right and left hand. We're going to have to use our dashes very effectively here. Wish I had a little bit more movement speed to work with, but okay. Freezing a target is what's going to be really good here, but I have to keep dashing around, and I'm running out of dashes because these guys are kind of perfectly timing their attacks here. Still, notice we are doing a lot of really hefty damage against these guys. So if I can just survive for a bit longer, there we go, that's what I'm looking for. Got him! Ha-ha! Actually, both down at once. That's amazing. All right. Boost a life link, damage per second, and more drain links. I could see that being good. Whenever you kill an enemy, there's a chance it spawns a weak experience shard. Curse enemies could drop more experience. If we want to level up fast, this could be great to boost up our ravens. I'm going to go for more life links since I need a bit more defense. Then we're going to pick up, I guess it's the exact same things we had before, except now we could also boost up our soul stealers. I guess I'll go ahead and get 9 ravens. They're also dropping some extra good gear. So what do we get here? We have an elusive belt for 17 evasion. That's a dodge chance. And we got some light boots. I cannot use them on this character. So in this game, there are other characters that you can play with. I've only unlocked 4 out of 5 so far. So this is going to be your knight character. There's also an assassin, there's a sorceress, there's a barbarian, and I have not figured out what the 5th character is going to be yet, so to be determined, but imagine it's going to be fun. They all have very different play styles, right? The sorceress obviously casts a whole bunch of different spells. The assassin is all about dodge chance and a lot of close attacks, right? Haven't played with the barbarian yet. Hello, it's the Fates. Okay, what are you up to? Life, evasion, or pick up drop more often. I guess we'll go for 23 evasion and pray that a little dodge chance increases my survivability substantially. This build's pretty good, by the way. We have a good amount of single target damage. We have very good clear. We're not getting kind of chunked on too much. I've got a healing mechanism, which is very important because there's not much that offers that to you in this game. So I would say that so far this is solid. We should be able to make it to the second boss without too much trouble as long as I don't screw up. There's always a chance that's the case. Now, knowing that we're going for a curse build, I almost wish that I had not gone for the winter attack that I've got right now with this chill. Because one of the other abilities that Mort could give you is your attacks would be able to resolve the curses and instantly take all of their extra life instead of doing a damage over a time attack. So that would have been better, but alas, I did not know what I was going to get. And winter's pretty good, to be honest. There are a lot of other ones, though. So let's see. Summer is going to be one of them. Time is obviously another. Who else is there? There's the God of Conquest, and so on. Let's go ahead and boost up Chain Lightning again, by the way. I don't know. Quite a few different things here. I imagine as the early access continues, there might be some more gods that are added in, but they need to have a lot more character added to them, I think, for this game to really stand up. And I think that's really the lesson to be learned from a game like this. I don't want to sound like I'm trying to be too negative, because this game actually is fun, and I do think it deserves the positive reviews it's been getting. But the problem is, if you're going to have a game that's very on the nose, copying a lot of features, or at least the feel, from a lot of very popular, phenomenal games like Hades, then you're going to inevitably be compared to it. And if you do it too much, right, then people are going to say, well, this game can't help but fall short of it. So this game needs to be able to distinguish itself very helpfully from the other games that it's trying to take inspiration from. We got a boss chasing after us right now, by the way. I got to be careful about that. But this lifelink is phenomenal so far. I'm not unhappy about that. Hey, we could also start summoning some skeletons whenever we kill enough enemies. Yeah, let's go ahead and add on some extra minions on top of the ravens. So now I'll have a whole bunch of people who are able to attack. That's going to give me a lot of extra DPS that I don't have to control. More ravens? Good lord, Mort is giving me a ton of stuff here. Okay, I don't really know if I care much about the sickles. I guess we could. Alright, let's go ahead and pick up the sickles of Mort. Now whenever we attack, there's going to be some of these flying sickles around, and they're going to do a lot of extra damage, applying some of the chill effect, which hopefully means that we can freeze more enemies, so I can do 70% more damage, blah, blah, blah. This is a phenomenal synergizing character right now, and I really, really, really should be using this more effectively. I hope I don't screw it up. Another level up. Ravens of Pestilence boost up again. Attack damage, blah, 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 blah. I guess this is a summon build. It's a summon curse build, which works for me. If it was just ravens, I'd say forget this. Not worth. But the ravens applying curse and damage over time, that's pretty good. I like it. I'll take it. Now, one thing that is good about this game as we are running around and attacking things, so you might be saying, well, why don't you just constantly attack, right? Why don't you just, like, keep swinging your sword? And you could do that. There is an auto-toggle mode to auto-cast your attack, and you just hit Q and you just wander around doing this all the time. You can do that, but notice we walk around a lot slower when we're attacking. So if you need to dodge, it's kind of important you're not actively attacking all the time. You need to be deliberate with your attacks. That is the best way to go around. Alright, raise more skeletons and stuff, more attack damage, soul stealers, blah blah blah. More phantoms to apply more curse sounds like a good plan to me. So yeah, I think that's a good feature to the game, right? It's not one of those things where you feel like you should just be spam clicking. It is a little bit more like a proper action roguelite in that you do need to be deliberate with your attacks, and knowing when to attack and when to just reposition is an important part of the game. This is what I'm saying, that this game does have, like, a lot of really good ideas to it, right? Like, it's gonna get compared to things, but its execution of what it's trying to do is actually solid. It is a good combination. We're about to get mobbed by a ton of blue slimes, by the way, so let's be aware of that, but the lifelink hopefully will keep me going for a bit. We're just gonna keep using Chain Lightning and Curse. You can see how effective this is when I'm saying we have good area clear. I'm not kidding, we have pretty good area clear, and should be getting a hefty amount of experience from all this. Although, hang on, I do know we dropped an amulet, spell damage. I don't know if I need a ton of spell damage as the knight, but it should impact all of my death skills and stuff, so that's still pretty good. Boost the frost ring, more attack damage for each immobilized enemy. Yes, please. So now, as we freeze enemies, I start getting extra damage. The more we freeze, every one of them is another 12% damage. Yeah, I can see that being very solid. Getting mobbed a little bit too heavy here. Got a Stone of Collecting. Now I have a magnet that's drawing in all the XP. That's very nice. And a Tract Orb. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, if you played Vampire Survivors, you understand the idea of what you're doing here. Where's my mouse? There we go. I'm facing the wrong direction. It would help if I did this right, wouldn't it? Yes. Another level up. What do we go for? More Soul Stealers? More... Oh, gosh, everything is Mort-related right now. What the heck, Mort? I'm supposed to be getting all sorts of other fun gods to help me out, and I'm just getting nothing but Mort! It's a good thing Mort is good. Alright, no, as I said at the very beginning here, though, actually trying to just stack up, like, everything from the same god is probably the best strategy in a lot of ways. So it's not bad. Wow, my lifelink has a phenomenal range, and I did not realize that. Look at how quickly we froze this boss. Oh, man, this is actually solid. This is a solid as heck build. I'm not gonna lie. If I had a bit better gear, I feel like I could probably take something like this all the way to the end. I mean, who knows? We might. All right, let's see. More sickles, ravens, necromancy. Let's go ahead and get more skeletons that last a lot longer. I could see that being solid, because the more summons I have, that's more damage being done that I don't have to directly control, which means I can still focus on dodging and surviving, and a lot of DPS is being done to whatever is on the map, including bosses. I like that. And speaking of bosses, I'm expecting that guy to appear in about a minute. Nope, never mind, less than that. 14, I was wrong. Seconds, just seconds. All right, hang on, what else we got here? Serendipity, more luck? I actually don't know what this does. Hang on, multiplier for chance-based god blessings. So increase the odds of things like my chain lightning and stuff. I mean, that could be kind of good. Mayhem, when an enemy dies from cursed, gain permanent damage. From cursed? I suspect we're accidentally getting in there and killing... If I had the thing to activate Curse with my main attack, I could see this being amazing. I'm gonna take Serendipity for the luck chance. Alright, we're facing off against the Necromancer. This guy can kill me dead super quick, so we need to get this guy down fast. He's gonna teleport around, and his spell does a lot of damage. We very luckily were able to hit all of those just now. If he shotgun blasts me, I am super dead. Like this. You can... Oop, hang on, guys! Ah! Okay, we just need to dodge for a second. Dodge for a second and use the lifelink to heal up. But you can see he does kind of a lot. You can use your attacks to smack all of his attacks out of the air, but timing that when you're right next to him is a little bit difficult. So I'm not going to rely on that. We're going to try to freeze him. I've never beaten the Necromancer, so I'm really hoping to pull this off. Come on. Got him! Yes! Okay, hang on. We got some really good gear. Okay. More Soul Stealers. We're gonna go for more luck. Let's just go for more activations. Hold on, what did I just get? So, even more spell damage and luck? Yes, please. And attack projectile and spell velocity? I can see this being really good on my sorceress character, not so good on this character, so we're not going to worry about that. Okay, we're now getting into unknown territory for me. I have no idea what to expect. We beat the second boss. Yeah, okay, that's fine, that's fine. Now I just have to, you know, not die. Okay, level up again. Let's boost up my damage to 54% extra. I can see that being great. Really do need to keep scaling my attack damage a little bit. Okay, that's a little too many enemies that are all trying to hit me at the same time. Here, we need to back up. We need to back up. This is one of those oh, these are homing shots. I did not realize that. Holy crud. I need to kill you. Ah, dang it! All right, well, when finished, you get to see all the different blessings that you had, how effective they were. You can see we had some pretty solid damage being done across the board over there. Really good DPS from a lot of this. I should not underestimate these sickles. It turns out they're actually pretty darn effective. When finished, Time's Hourglass activates. Oh, we just unlocked the 5th character. Hold on! Who is this character going to be exactly? Looks like a Scottish lady holding a bastard sword. I have no idea. Okay. She's meeting Kront the Barbarian, one of my other characters. Okay. They apparently know each other. That's fun. What is annoying is that the character's like, hey, there's a lot to explain, and then it just sort of blacks out, and then it's like, all right, go kill Death. It's like, why? I want to know why. Give me the story. Stop teasing me. Give it to me. Anyway, when you're defeated in Death's realm, Time's Hourglass activates, and it sends us back to this hub where we can interact with some of my other characters. And we can go to the shop, and we can go to our stash and kind of rework some of our characters. Don't mind, again, the Christmas stuff. It just sort of is that this time around. What do we have here? Shard pull area, more skill offers and stuff could be good. Some better rings, some really cool broadswords and stuff. Yeah, all this is nice. We have to spend a lot of our gold in order to get some of these items. I'll go ahead and pick up things that are otherwise kind of hard to get, like this jewel. So, rather than play around with this new character, let's suppose that I want to play around with one of my others. How about Miss Boinga Boinga over here? And if you're wondering why I call her that, just look at her animation for a second and you tell me. This is Maris, my sorceress. We'll go ahead and activate the Sign of Fire so I do extra spell damage with every 3 levels up. And let's go to our stash over here, where I can mix and match some of my equipment. So let's see, we'll get a bunch of different rare items over here, boosting up some of my evasion, my magnetic pull chance, attack velocity, etc., etc. And when we are ready to go back into Death's Realm, all we do is just walk into this pool of water over here. And now we're back. All right, so this is a ranged character, so we should, in theory, be able to stay at a distance from most of our enemies and do a lot of area of effect damage. Such is the hope. Obviously, the playstyle is extremely different from the knight. And that is Lady Justice. Okay, the defensive hero. Attacks become stronger and apply weakened is good, but is it what I want? Divine Shield, prevent the next time we take damage. Yeah, I think I'd rather just go ahead and lock in that defensive perk, and I'll hopefully get some more DPS out of my attacks. As far as I know, kind of similar to Hades, you can only have 1 modifier on your main attack, 1 modifier on your dash, that kind of thing, and then you have a plethora of other, like, random spells. But if you want to save for something specific on an important ability, well, then maybe be picky about which god you select. 1 minute and 20 seconds in, and my damage is absolutely appalling so far. Really need to use the area of effect damage to try and knock out as many enemies as possible. Hello, there's the boss. Let's take him out real quick. I mean, the single target damage itself isn't terrible. It's just, I need some bigger buffs. Come on, where are the other gods? There's Winter. All right, Winter will work just fine. Chilling Strike. Notice it's a little bit different from what the Knight had. We're going to get more projectiles and more pierce and damage. But the range and velocity are worse, and we still do apply that chill. I think that's going to be worth it, though. More projectiles and piercing damage means we can start clearing through enemies. There we go. That's better. The real test is when the slimes start to appear, which should be any second now. I'm waiting for them to start coming in. If you can't survive this, well, that probably means that your build sucks, and you need to try again. I mean, the good news is we do pretty good stuff with our pierce damage. This many projectiles is awesome, but we definitely were about to take a lot of damage. Yeah, no, I think our build's okay so far. We're clearing through the group pretty okay. And here come the bosses. All right, so in theory, I should be able to do this pretty effectively. I can stick at a distance this time around, so we can be a little bit more sparing in our dodges. Plus, the chill will hopefully make sure these guys are frozen very frequently, so I can do lots of extra damage. Not bad. But is this the kind of build that'll be able to beat a necromancer later? I'm not feeling very confident on that one. Just need some sort of other enabler, like a lot more luck, for example, or I don't know, something along those lines. The extra projectiles from Winter is nice, but it's not doing nearly as much damage as I was kind of hoping for. Part of the other issue is we did not get lucky with the high rarity levels of our abilities this time around, whereas last run we did. Lots of adept skills or expert skills. So we're getting things like Chain Lightning, but it's not the top tier version of it, which means we're not getting quite as much value. And that's all luck dependent. It's exactly the same as Hades. And here comes the Necromancer. All right, there you are. Now, the good news is, I think that we're actually a pretty good match for the Necromancer, because as long as we attack very frequently, we should be able to erase most of his attacks when he tries to shoot at me, as long as we're not too close to him. Like that, yeah. So he just tried to shoot at me, but it did absolutely nothing. So he'll keep teleporting around, but in theory, I think we can handle this guy. That said, we're killing him very slowly because my damage is nowhere near as good as it was with my previous character. Come on, I just want to kill him. I just want to kill him so bad. Kill the Necromancer. Kill the Necromancer. Got him! I want these things. Give me this stuff. Oh, hi, Fates. We'll just hit a wider area. I don't think that the attack crit chance matters that much to me. Get all the cool stuff. I got an epic item. Hold on. A really good shirt with a revival chance. Ooh. Okay, yeah, we'll lose a lot of our magnetism and pick that up. That seems all right. And now we just need to, you know, live for a bit longer, which didn't go well last time I said that, so let's see what happens. Actually, I don't know about that. Hang on. Oh gosh, it's Dracula, Baron of the Outer Circle. I've never seen you before. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? You're gonna hurt. You're gonna hurt. I can tell you're gonna hurt. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. You know, it figures that Dracula would be one. Whoa! What is that? Figures that Dracula would be one of Death's lieutenants, doesn't it? Oh god. Oh god. Honestly, I think it's only the frost that is keeping me alive right now. We keep accidentally freezing Dracula, so he can't do as much as he wants to. That's the only thing keeping me alive right now. Also, is it just me, or does he look suspiciously like the Dracula that we would see from something like Vampire Survivors? And he got me, dang it. I think he's the final boss, if we had been able to take him down, because once we got to 20 minutes, it stopped. Huh. Okay. All right, well, we lost that one. It was a good run, though, despite the fact that I don't think it was as good as it could have been. One other thing you can use to advance your characters, if you go over here to the Scriveners, you can see for your different characters, they are going to have different achievements to be unlocked. So, for example, use Averon the Knight to defeat the Baron we just met, right? Do things like that, you'll get some new sigils, which do different things. Maris has her own, our Assassin has her own, the Barbarian, and whoever the new lady is over here, Scotty, whatever she does. But we can see some of the different sigils we can choose from. So, for example, Maris now would have infinite pull range, but only one dash. However, a faster cooldown. So, I don't know. Is that something you want to build around, or would you rather just go with the extra spell damage? Alright, so final thoughts. Is Death Must Die fun? Yes, I'd say it is. It differentiates itself pretty well from the rest of the Horde Survival / Bullet Heaven genre, using the gods as the blessing mechanic and also the gameplay progression with, you know, gearing and stuff from Diablo 2. I think it actually does a pretty good job of standing out, and this game is pretty good as it is, and for only, I think it's $6 on Steam, it's a really good deal. The main problem with this game is it's going to draw a lot of comparisons to superior games like Hades because it drew such obvious influences from there. So, you know, remember Hades had phenomenal character progression and gameplay, top-tier voice acting, scripting, storytelling, art, amazing music. Like, it's a great game. This game cannot quite live up to it, but it's getting close, right? The art is good, the scripting's pretty good, it's got good gameplay, I enjoy the progression. But where is it going to go in terms of the story? This game suckers you into thinking it's got a good story. It makes it seem like it has depth. It is pretending, but it doesn't actually have any. Not yet. I'm hoping that the devs are going to fix that and the full release will have a proper story to it and it doesn't end up being an ambiguous thing. But we will see. Otherwise, I can give this game a recommendation. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If so, I'd ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, make sure you hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.